Most of our relationships get stuck in the
Hi,
domain of
America.
power,
This is George on the street. Today we are
of
going
ego
down
power,
into the water station to find out what is the real deal.
of a
That's the
subtle
real
struggle
deal
to
of
see
going on
whose
with
model
the
of
water.
reality
Why are these fares
will
going
win.
up, but the services not being increased? So tune in, America, and let's find out what's really going on. Take it away, Demetria.
Okay, now, America, you just heard it from George, okay? Now, the topic of this show is all about exactly different hosts of the show. And right now, I'm just your main host, but George is going to be your new host right now for this day, all right? And he's going to talk about a lot of touching issues that's going on in America. And maybe you may have some questions and concerns too, okay? So if all of y'all want to email me at I'm coming out uniquetalent at yahoo.com. Okay? Now, George, go ahead. Is it okay? Go ahead. All right, great. Also, there is a host. Amen. I'm being a little nervous, even though I am confident. I am like we got a host in this season. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to cut you off. Remember what the Lord says that if you keep my Sabbath and pollute it not, that you will enter his holy mountain. I challenge everybody, the people of God, everybody, everywhere, even if you don't believe, to go into the book of Isaiah, and you'll understand where we're coming from when we talk about this mountain. There is a true vision of spiritual mountain that God has sent us to. And those that don't understand in the book of Matthew chapter 17, when the disciples John, Peter, and James went up to the transfiguration of Mount Olive. And this is a continuation how God used me and this mighty woman of God. Go ahead, mighty woman of God. I wanted to know what that mountain is. What mountain? All right, now it's a song. Okay, go ahead. Was standing on I was standing on his right side. I was standing on his right side. He took my hand. He took my right hand and we rode. It was people standing around this cape. Not at the end, but on the sides where you could see them, but not at the end of this cape because you could not see the end because it went so long. But it was people surrounding us. And he took my hand and we wrote, I love you in the cake. And then I woke up. So I woke up and I'm like, this is strange. Now at this particular time, I was being moved in the spirit to learn how to walk by faith, to walk by the faith of Abraham. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so as I'm learning this,
And then I had this dream. Yet I played this song again, not thinking that this song had any connection. I played this song again, and then when I came back to the part where he said, "Cake so big," it's like, yeah. Every time I heard him say that, I'm just like, in my dream, the cake was really big, and I just kept thinking about my dream.
Okay.
And I wasn't thinking that this song got something to do with my dream. I'm telling you, I had no idea at this particular time. I just kept thinking about the dream. I'm just like, the cake was really big in my dream, and I actually thought it was weird.
Yes.
But Gucci said, this is for the weirdos. So,
on your terminology of weirdos, what do you go from there, like perversion or?
My terminology, Gucci's terminology of weirdos is for those that are within the kingdom of heaven. You walk a certain way, you talk a certain way, you do things differently from the people that are of the world, to make a clear distinction that I am not of the world. So everything I do, make it clear I am not of the world.
That's right.
You know. So when I use the terminology weirdo, it is to let people know, you think I'm crazy, but you're not.
You're
I'm
peculiar.
just a weirdo.
Peculiar people, the word says.
Yes.
That's right.
So, as I listen to this song, and he's teaching me how to, Gucci is teaching me how to walk with the faith of Abraham, because he was preparing me for this now, to be able to leave from Phoenix the way I did, because when he said go, I had to be able to walk a certain way to get there. So I had to learn at this particular time. This was back in March of 2010. So March of 2010, and I had this dream. I listened to the song, then I listened to the song again. He said the first come last, the last come first. So this song, in accordance with the teaching of the correct faith to have, to walk, it led me to the Holy Mountain. And the Holy Mountain is located in Phoenix. And when I went to this Holy Mountain, he took me to the Holy Mountain when it was dark outside. It was dark outside. It was pitch black. And there were two other people with me. Certain things, I'm going to tell you, that he do that are signs and wonders. Some things are just for me. But some things, even if they don't believe, he makes sure they're present just for my sanity, to make sure that, yes, you are a weirdo, but don't get it twisted, because to be weird is good. Because you are within the kingdom of heaven.
Okay.
So he took me on this mountain. Now, I never, since the beginning, when it came
this is for the new age young people that understand the ebonics, that God is into the gospel for all generations. So Gucci, yeah.
He told Noah, I will put a rainbow in the sky to remember. And he also have used different individuals within the word to let them know he will do something, or he did something to remember them at that particular time, to understand that when you're in the everlasting now, that's what amnesia is. When you're in when I say amnesia, I'm referring to the amnesia that's in the everlasting now. I'm not referring to the sickness that the people in the world refer to, because if I refer to a sickness, I'm referring to the bird flu. And when he says it's a terrible sickness, it is. I want us to come back to that so I can go deeper into about the sickness of the bird flu.
Okay.
Let's come back to that.
Okay, but we talking about the sickness and the bird flu when we was on the topic, doing the Bible research on biblical topics. Could you run that by me again when we was on the view of that?
About Noah?
About Noah when we was on the teaching studies of that? Okay.
And Noah, after he put the floods on the earth.
Yes.
And the water subsided. And it was the point of time for Noah to actually walk out. Because even after the water subsided, he wasn't going to walk out yet until the Gooch wanted him to. So when he walked out, at that appointed time, he had a conversation with Noah. He let him know, I will put a rainbow in the sky to remember the covenant. So when I use the terminology amnesia, it's about covenant. It's about the love of his remembrance for him to remember, because there's an everlasting now. When you're in the kingdom of heaven, you have an everlasting now, which means you don't look back because you always look straight, because your best foot is forward. So if your best foot is forward, you're not going to remember things that are in your past. You're not. So when I say Gucci has amnesia, that's only my terminology, and say his best foot is always forward. He's always remember what's ahead of him, because a day is 1,000 years to the Lord. And a day, what is it? A day is 1,000.
It's one day of the Lord is 1,000 years.
One day is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is a
Yeah,
day.
we understand, because we all go through that. The Lord said the Holy Spirit will bring things back to your remembrance in John 14. So he understands that all that we're going through and everything we do is already in the Word of God. And we all do that, woman of God. Go ahead. Continue on. I understand.
Okay. And I'm just thinking, because he's revealing something to me right now.
Amen. Let God use you. Amen.
Water. He also revealed to me that when you're standing on water, have faith to stand on water, because remember, when Christ was walking on water and Peter saw him, as he said, "Is that you? Let me walk out to you if it's really you." So he said, "Well, come on," So he walked out. And then once he got close, the wind blew a certain way. And that wind caused him, well, I'm not going to say the wind caused him, but the wind, let's just say Gucci decided to test him by the wind. And when he tested him by the wind, he began to sink. Yet he reached out and he pulled him up like, faith, where is it? You don't have to lose it. It's all right. I'm right here.
Amen.
So what that reminds me, I'm going to tell you like this. I arrived here because the Lord told me to leave. Leave your people. Leave your kids. I have 2 kids. He told me to leave. I have many children, but I have 2 that came out of my womb. He told me to leave them. And one is 6 today and one is 2. He told me to leave them, leave everything that I established in Phoenix, and he told me to leave and go, because I was called. I heard Gucci call me. He called me. He called out. So I heard him. I said, okay, I'm coming. And he told me to get there, because if I did not get there, he told me and he revealed to me that I will kill you. This is what he said.
Wow.
I will kill you if you do not go. I will kill you gently, because you're the apple of my eye. I'll just let diabetes take over your body and kill you like that. See, I ain't gonna let nobody touch you because you the apple of my eye. Yet I got something else that I can do. So what happened is, in the middle of nowhere, while I was still in Phoenix, my right foot started to swell.
Oh my goodness.
It started to swell as if I had diabetes. I always had great health. My right foot started to swell. And then eventually my left foot swelled, but it couldn't swell really like my right foot. And he had it swelling up my calves on down. It was swelling up. I just started swelling up with my legs, my feet, and he told me he gave me that proof to let you know I'm not playing with you. If I said get to Atlanta, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Go. So I'm like, oh, but how I'm just gonna leave my kids? But he told me I'll kill you. So what you gonna do? Because he said those who love their mother, their father, their children, their brother, their sister more than me are not worthy of me.
Take time.
So I said, okay, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to trust him, because he said, if you do this, I will gather those that are scattered back. So trust me, because I am he. So I said, okay.
Wonderful testimony.
I said, okay. And I left.
Yeah, thank you.
Mind you, at this time, I have not worked. I've always been a person to be independent and to take care of mine. He said, work, no. You sit down in my presence and you read. This is your job right now. He put me on the internet. He wanted me to testify.
Yes.
Whatever he was revealing to me. Get on Facebook. Put your videos up on YouTube. Get out there. Reveal this message. This is what I want you to do. Yet, I could not get those messages on YouTube at the appointed time. Yet, I know why.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second day that I have met her. And everything she said is we lined up together because God did the same thing for me. He told me to leave Chicago. And here he is, we in the land today. And me and this woman of God this is our second day. And everything that God called her to do, he called me in the mountains. He's called her in the same mission with her 2 children. And I have many children too. So I'm letting you know that what this woman of God is saying is true. Because we were called and I were called in the same thing. And look what he did. He joined us together. And all that I'm doing now is getting the videos for YouTube and videos. And God did it together so we can help each other's ministry. So I'm going to continue, allow this woman of God to continue. But let you understand that God get us out of our comfort zone to get you with the people that is going to help you come together for the kingdom of heaven to make God's mission that he gave us to continue out in the earth. Then he said, the greater work shall we do. Then he said that then we have to continue out those things which Jesus did. And he's going to make sure that you receive access. He's going to put the people in your path, and she is chosen. Go ahead, woman of God, finish this because this is really interesting. We all set.
Okay. That's all I want to say right now. It's Gucci. Hello, everybody.
Gucci, how you doing?
It's cold outside.
Yes.
We indoors right now. Warming up. You know what I'm saying? It's cold outside. As you can see, I got my gloves on.
Yes.
My hair was hood wrap.
Yeah. Get out
I
there.
had it hood wrap, so I wanted to let it out for a little bit, so I can warm up.
Yeah.
And everything. So as you can see, we keeping it 100 with y'all, and just letting you know, like this is the real deal right here. This is the true us at heart,
Yes. Yes.
So you can just see a part of us.
Yeah.
And just so you know every part of us, that we 100.
Right.
We just showing y'all that.
Yeah. No disrespect, lady, but some of us, we cut our hair, and we like our hair long, medium, short. And some of us that get cold in the wintertime, women like hair weave because it does get cold. And an extra hair piece don't hurt to warm up some ears. It's all good. For ladies who cut your hair, you need to put that hat back on because it'll keep it real, all right? Yeah, all right? And it doesn't mean you're not real because you wear hair weave, okay? We're talking about the topic of the issue that is dealing with life and everyday issues. That's what the show is about. Because I know a lot of women in the business and in the church wear a lot of hair weave. No offense to you, ladies, okay? We want to make this a positive show. Getting back on the subject, we're talking about the issue, what's causing violence in the black communities today. What is the root of this? What causes our people to want to fight and kill their own people, black on black crime? And why the statistics have shown over hundreds of thousands of people all across our nation that is in violence of our own people. And we need to talk about that. BET, this is important for you, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But right now we're going to talk to our special guest, and we're going to come in together, and we're going to do a live discussion together, okay? This is the topic for both.
I think that people, they kill each other, and
Go ahead, finish.
okay.
Wait a minute. It didn't go through. Okay, hold on. It didn't go through. I didn't even put that on there. Okay. All right. Woman of God. Amen. Go ahead.
Another term I want to share before we close out is when Gucci Mane says birds. It's birds that fly around here. When he says birds and he talk about, I got the bird flu. The bird flu is what he's saying is once you enter into the kingdom of heaven, your reaction to things, your connection with the animals, your connection with what's holy is really different. And it's so different to you that it's like, oh man, I just want to say it's weird.
That's true.
Everything around you comes off weird. That's why he said, this is for the weirdos.
Yes,
okay?
I like that one. I heard that one before.
Weirdos. Yes.
Yes.
So I wanted you to know that, and I wanna close out now, and I wanted to, just to share with you. I have experienced some things. I want you to know. I'm not just someone that just decided, oh, let me just figure this out. Nothing that I say that comes out my mouth is not from me, it's from my Father. He speaks through me, and he uses me to speak up for this particular appointed time. And I want you to know that that's what he's revealing to me. You see?
Yes, indeed.
So he communicates with me in different ways because everything is weird now, but I appreciate what's weird to me now, because he said this is for the weirdos, so he got me ready for it. So I'm so in the kingdom of heaven, and I want people to be able to come into the kingdom of heaven. Yet he said, let those who hear, and let those who refuse, and those that will hear, it will be the weirdos only. I just wanted to let y'all know that it will be the weirdos only, But I wanted to share with you all, just to get personal with you guys, to let you know I actually experienced some things in my life from this last year, ever since Gucci Mane turned 30. Once he turned 30, it was time for me to be fully trained. It was time for me to learn how to walk by faith. It was things that were taught to me that I did not know at that particular time. So now. So now I want to go forth in prayer, and I want to just to close this out. I want everyone to be blessed by this message. I want to go forth in prayer for those who hear this message that can hear and receive this, because they have the Father, they have the Son, they have the understanding, they're in the core of the things that I'm saying, but to pray that these things are sealed up in you, so that the devil won't snatch it away, because he would do that to those that don't have the authentic roots. He will snatch the seed that's planted in you. So I want to pray that if you receive this message, it's planted to you so you can share it with the world.
Okay. May I add before she goes to prayer? Okay. I must add this because the Lord put this in my spirit to make sure that I say this. Men of God, I need to allow you to understand that you see how she honors the man of God, Gucci, okay? Now, she speaks all these great things in his life in prophecy, prophesizing, uplifting and edifying him. Now, I know that a lot of times, a lot of people do not acknowledge that most people in their ministry, they do not give honor to their companions, to other people, and they mostly just say, well, Jesus Christ. Well, Jesus himself, he honored and gave Mary Magdalene, he gave her a special token by telling us to remember her and give her a memorial. So she's doing the same thing. She's giving her respect and her honor to Gucci, okay? And we need to acknowledge that when we're preaching, that it's always someone who's going to inspire us. It doesn't mean we're worshiping them in anything. And men of God, we need to hear you doing that more to your wives, to the women of God that prayed and intercede for the word of the Lord, for your ministry. Because remember, we didn't do this alone, ladies and gentlemen, people of God. We didn't do this by ourselves. We came together as a corporate people coming in prayer. So she's going to go ahead and intercede for us. And I'm standing in the gap is the church. And the Bible said that 2 or 3 gather together in the midst. There he is. 2 or 3 gather together in his name. There he is in the midst of us. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. What I want to reveal the email addresses again and the different websites. I wanted to reveal to the people to let you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? To let you know, it's Gucci Wife with Flair. You can go on GucciWifeWithFlair@gmail.com for emails. Tiana Davis, 1017 Brick Squad. I want you to know, and he's starting something new. He's really starting something new in different ways, even with the whole Brick Squad family. This is not just limited to me and Gucci, though I say he decided to use us because he decided that we were the chosen ones to come out and to speak out on this particular message. Yet he has those that he has called to gather with us. So shout out to Brick Squad, you know, and all the chosen elect that is coming together so that way he can speak the message that is being delivered. So we back, you know, and that's what I want to say. So go to GucciWifeWithFlair@gmail.com, Tiana Davis 1017 Brick Squad @gmail.com, Gucci Christ 1017 on Twitter, Tiana Davis on Facebook. What else? Gucci Wife. You can go there if you want to check out my particular page. You can go to Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane is he's on Facebook. You can go Gucci 1017. He might come over there. He might show up and say something. But Gucci Mane online. You can go on there. That's his particular website. I have a page on there that's Gucci Christ on there, and I want to share that with you. Also, one more thing I wanted to let you know is that what he revealed to me, I's and T's, T's always be lowercase when you are using a T. The reason for such because it's symbolic to an everlasting road of life because it cannot end. So when you make that T capitalized, though you were taught this in grade school, when you make that T capitalized, you stop in a road that can keep going. So to make it lowercase, you are acknowledging the everlasting road of life, and you are acknowledging that he has did a new thing, and you are acknowledging the narrow gate and the entrance of the kingdom of heaven. So I want to share that. Also, the I's should be lowercase. He wants them lowercase. He wants those I's lowercase. So I wanted to share that with you. That's what he revealed to me. So if you write Gucci, write it in all capital letters and write it in black ink.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for our guest today, and she has gave us a very delightful message that is really delightful for all the people of God to acknowledge and give the young people a chance. It's because if we don't embrace them, then how is it that they're going to be strong and strengthened in their ministry if we always judging them? Give them an opportunity to share their stories. Give them an opportunity to get a start, just like God gave it to us. He allowed us to have those days when we had experience, and it was experience that brought this woman God through. And she's been through stuff. She's got into a deep, big old brawl with the enemy who attacked her, but she is victorious, and God allowed her to shine in the midst of darkness. When the enemy tried to turn the light on off on her, when the light just completely went off, the enemy didn't want her to speak today, and the enemy tried to stop her. There were people that tried to just hinder. They was talking, and just like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, this is a reality show.
Somebody tried to kill me just because they knew the ministry. Someone tried to kill me just because they knew the ministry that I had for Gucci Mane, and they tried so hard. And to let you know, I was attacked. If you look inside the Appeal album, and Gucci has a picture of his face, and the light is on his nose, and he has a mark on his eye. That's how my face looked after I was healed. After I was healed from this guy jumping on me so much. He beat me down. At this particular time, I was already in a ministry trying to reveal it to the certain people that he had gathered for me to reveal and speak through them about the Lord. So as I was doing that, it was time. The city was not in agreement with me. The city wanted to. It was almost as if the city wanted to crucify me. Yes. And it's just like, Christ did that already. I'm not sent here to be crucified again.
That's true.
But he sent me away from that place. You know what I'm saying? To go where I can be safe, to a safer place. So I thought at this particular time, yet I was safe. I was moved in the spirit because I already knew what he was revealing to me. You know what I'm saying? So I knew what he was revealing to me. So I knew where can I hide if I feel heavy like that, if I feel like the world came against me like that, where could I go but hide in the name of the Lord? So what I did was, at this particular place, I got on YouTube. And just like you go on YouTube to look at any other videos, I started to look at some gospel videos.
Yes.
So I started looking at gospel videos, and anybody that has really a pure heart would say, you will listen to gospel music and you shall be touched and moved. So I was touched and moved as I listened to this gospel music. So as I listened
Turn around. Amen. Hallelujah.
As I listened to the gospel music and I was hearing the songs and the things that he was putting in me to comfort my spirit, I still cried, but I cried tears of joy because I knew the anointing that comes from gospel music. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm listening to the gospel music, this guy walks in. And it was a guy that I was dating at the time, to be honest with you. Yet I knew better.
Right.
I knew better. I knew what was better for me. So I had no patience at that particular time. Obviously, I had to learn patience, but there's a way that seems right to a man that can lead you to death. But when I found out at this particular time, he came in there, and he said, "Hold on, I'm about to pray." That's what he told me as I'm worshiping. He said, "I'm about to pray. Hold on, I'm about to pray." And he got on his knees, but he told me, get off the computer and sit down. I got off the computer and I sat down. In the middle of nowhere, this guy jumped on me. He jumped on me and he started trying to fight me. It caught me off guard, but I know how to fight. I have a warrior spirit. So, of course, I'm fighting with him. I'm fighting back. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting back. Yet I was sitting down, so he had an advantage over me to a certain extent, yet he was taller than me. I'm not making excuses, but I'm letting know the truth. The spirit was willing to fight, yet the body was weak. That's why I was hiding in the name of the Lord, because I knew the weakness at that particular time. But he attacked me, and he disfigured my face. And when I say disfigure, I'm not saying that my cheekbone was by my eye, way over here, but I'm saying my eyes was closed. I thought my nose was broken. It was blood everywhere. I was crying out for help. It was people in the house, yet no one helped me. When they walked in there, they looked at me and they walked away. I never forget how they looked me in my eyes and walked away. But I knew I was just praising and worshiping the Lord, and I got attacked for no reason to me. But he said, for this reason, a man will leave his mother and father and be united to his wife, and they'll become one flesh. Mind you, this person knew my ministry about Gucci Mane, to reveal the things that Gucci wanted to reveal to me. Understand, when I say Gucci, I'm referring to the three, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'm referring to the three. So when he revealed to me that it's time for his ministry, this person that attacked me knew this ministry. So it's not that this is not snitching. This is a testimony to share with you that I have been attacked because of this ministry. This guy wanted to continually attack me because he did not want me. The devil was in him, and even though he may speak out his mouth, he would say out his mouth, "I am the devil." He said, "If you God, I'm the devil." That's what he will always say to me. He wanted to see me dead because he wanted my ministry not to be heard about Gucci. So I was trapped. I was trapped for 90 days. And when I say trapped, I mean that this guy tried to trap me in a place that was not the kingdom of heaven. He tried to keep me into a place that was not the kingdom of heaven. But God Gucci allowed it to happen. The reason why he allowed it to happen because when he delivered me from that, he wanted me to understand when he said, I will deliver you. And when I enter into the kingdom of heaven, he wanted me to appreciate it once I'm.
So the wisdom here that you said, go ahead and continue.
Okay. So the wisdom that comes with just learning different things about life itself, because Solomon, when the Lord used Solomon, he really used him on the 100 side. He really kept it real about everything. And to read Proverbs and to study that, it opened up my eyes up to what's real life. That I really think that Proverbs out of the whole entirety of the Bible really comes down to earth for those people that really can't understand everything that's going on. Proverbs really touch on real life things. Proverbs will tell you, if you do this, you stupid. Just like that, it'll tell you. Proverbs keep real with you. If you do this, that's just like eating your vomit. Yeah. That's nasty. You know what I'm saying? Proverbs will talk to you and it will pierce through you and remain there, and it will show up when you want it. Mama say, you may not realize you want that proverb to show up, but it'll show up at the appropriate time to bless you when it's necessary for it to be there, to come out and manifest whatever you're going through. But for those people that I would say that are non-believers, or for those people that are believers but are not readers of the word, they might believe, and it might be a thought in their mind or somewhere in their heart, they might want that part of God, but their communication, their way of reaching out to him is not through actually reading, you know, which I want to say to those people, you missing out. You missing out, but it is those people out there. Another way that has been revealed to me, a resolution when that anger comes over me to release that down, is when I listen to Gucci Mane's music, because he has certain songs that's relaxing. Where if I get mad, even people knew you better go turn on some Gucci, because when it's like his spirit, because he's so calm, his spirit when it just comes through in the room and somebody turn it on. I'm just giving you an example, real life situation. It was just God was so mad. It was hot and cold where I was, so the environment was unstable. It was hot, it was cold, it was hot, it was cold, because we kept turning the air on and off when I was back in the desert. So it was necessary to have the AC on and sometimes let the heat get on if it was too cold. So the environment was unstable, but the lack of knowledge leads to death. So I'm getting to the part where I'm arguing with this guy. And you know what I'm saying? I was mad to P about it and ready to make him say, so we like, let's get it in. And they saw a battle that they couldn't win. They turned on Gucci just to calm me down.
Wow, I see that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, see, she's talking about some real life topic issues. Nothing staged, nothing performed in any form. We need to acknowledge in today's society that our society has become worse than it was years ago. The statistics are showing that most black generation of people are in jail for violence, for murder, for rape, for all sorts of child molestation, domestic violence, and also they have statistics, and even in the Hispanic community. Now, we want to find out, was it something maybe because, you know, they felt like they were being deprived from life, maybe deprived from jobs, being, you know, discriminated against because of color of their race? Because I want to talk on some real touching issues. And do we blame our government, considering the fact that a lot of people, when they go to jail, they have a felony, and a lot of times when a person has a felony, they don't want them to go back to work because a lot of people reject a felony, okay? And that kind of allows them to feel like they're being rejected from life, rejected from being in society once again to start their own life. Because I think it's fair when a man and a woman serve 20 years in jail, or maybe lesser, or maybe more, then why would we continue to punish them? And knowing that they need to go back on their own 2 feet to get their life back on track, to get their life, maybe in jail they had the gospel. Maybe God had met them, like a lot of people received the gospel in jail and converted their life unto Christ, and they're changed. So why are we still treating them as though they're still committing these felonies? We just want to touch on some real topics and things that's really dealing with true basis, what's going on in a black, and if you black, no disrespect to all the other races, in our society, but we're talking about the young black people in the older generation, in the middle class, and maybe people right now who may not understand that we are a people. We're trying to figure out, because all black people, we're not the same. We're divided by different nations, different cultures, ideology of language. You got people in Africa, people from Jamaica, the Caribbean, Bohemian, people that was brought up middle class. People was brought up from the poor, from the hood. Some people is not ghetto, but they just from the hood. And being from the hood doesn't mean that you poor. It's just some people just say, hey, I'd rather be in the hood than to be up there with the rich. Then you got some rich black people. So, everybody, we all trying to understand each other on a real life basis and understand. People, did I just sound ghetto when I said that? Because maybe God is trying to get me to say that so I can relate to my people. Because I have communication skills. I went to school to broadcasting, communication skills in the entertainment field, in every aspect, and I want to take up journalism in a lot of aspects and a lot of things. So God, in order way for you to understand a person, you must speak the language which they understand. And it comes natural for me. And I'm not staging this. I'm not pretending. It's just natural for me. And God have a way that people get all sorts of gifts to communicate with people. And I believe when you talk the person's language, that you draw them closer to you. It doesn't mean that they're going to convert you to do evil, to make you do something that you don't want to do. I think that when we relate to people in the language which they understand, that you can open up and they can open up to some real life issues that you can share in your living room, and we can talk about topics that most Americans did not want you to know. Because on TV, it shows the glamour of life. But what about the people who don't want to get in the glamour? We tired of watching the lifestyles of the rich and famous, because the reality was they was on drugs, but they didn't want to show us that. We want to talk about people who struggle for drugs for years and years, who've been in the gang violence, who've been through domestic violence and all sorts of issues of domestic issues of child molestation, or sister, you know what I'm saying? Come on, fill me on that.
What I want to say about
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
We got it.
Now
All
go
right.
ahead, talk.
Bingo. All right. I just want to say, what I'm listening to what she's saying, and everything that she's saying is 100. I've met some of those people. I probably met all those people she named, and maybe not even realize their livelihoods and their lifestyles. But some of those people I have actually met where they were in a position to live anywhere they wanted to, but chose to be in the gutter. They chose to be in the hood because that's a choice that they made, because that was the comfort zone for them, to be surrounded by people that they knew that lived there.
Yeah.
So, those things happen. That's the choices that people make. So it's like, what people do is led by choice. It's led by the choices that they made. So they're making choices. Everybody's making their own choices. They're choosing to either live here or live there. But when it all comes down to it, no matter where you are you going to be in the kingdom of heaven while you're there? That's all I'm saying, because the kingdom of heaven is not this physical building. You understand what I'm saying? It's not this physical palace. It's something that the way it begins within, that's a stream of water that comes out and it manifests into light, and it surrounds everything around you, where everything around you will manifest into perfect energy with the Father. And you will see that. So in the same fight, whether you in the projects, whether you in EA, you know what I'm saying, whether you in Atlanta, wherever you at, no matter where you at, if that's where you are, is the kingdom of heaven with you? Is it dwelling with inside of you? Is it manifesting on the outside of you? Is that light beaming out? How are you, all these things that are going on in the world, are you a part of that? Because I can tell you when God has his hand on you, when he has his hands on you, you're not going to see the things that actually go on out there unless he really wanted you to witness it, because there was a message for it, because that's how he communicates with me. All right.
Okay. Ladies, okay, there was a young lady that came here. She wanted to know what the topic was about. And the question was, why is black people, why are we experiencing so much statistics of more black ballads and what is going on in the black race. Do you have any views that you can share with us today? And everything we have is all the real, okay? Now, could you give your point of view and who you are so you can talk about it in your experience, okay? Because we were trying to find out what's going on with black people today. Why is it so much violence?
Hey, my name's Nikki Costello, and we're discussing, Chicago and all this 2-7 what Chicago's about. But really, back then, when things was rough, that's what we did. We used our music, our dance moves, and stuff that make us happy, to take us away from all the poverty, from all the stuff that was going wrong in our lives. Music and dance is what made us happy, made us see things better, in a better perspective. So, that's just my outlook on that.
Okay, that was just test time. Hold on, Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? This is your web host today, the one that has various names, and the names are mine. So, hey, if I got some copycats out there, so what? Because guess what? Everybody have a name in which somebody in the world, about 1,000 people, have the same name. So it doesn't matter, okay? All right. But, I'm the one that's going to continue to talk about the subject of things that American people don't talk about every day. And I touch on things that is real, okay? Because these are the things that make me go, You know what I mean? The things that make you go, all right? And I just want to go ahead on that topic. George and I, he's a good friend of mine. I've been knowing him for years, okay? Now, we still do a little entrepreneuring right now, and I'm still marketing a lot of areas. But I used to have George hooking up my store years ago, and we were marketing products for many of them. So a lot of people didn't know. They were like really stereotyping us. Some people, they get low funds and so and like that, and they have, you got a lot of people that got money and still deal with financial problems. The question and concern of this subject is, why, because a person is successful, people think that they don't have money issues, or they don't have any financial issues, or they don't have any setbacks in life. Just because a person owned their own business didn't mean they wasn't homeless. You got a lot of people have life, bad issues like background records and bad credit, or it's all sorts of issues with a lot of people stereotype, and they never knew, These are touching issues, okay? We lived in houses, we live in apartments, we even lived in hotels, but we were still establishing our own business. A lot of people didn't know that. George used to set me up and have stores and stuff, and he was my manager, and we had contracts. It's a lot of things a lot of people didn't know. But it was a lot of people said, oh, you guys, you're nothing, you're this and that. But they didn't know that we were in the entertainment field. We had multi-tasks and many issues and so. So, George, you want to enlighten with some ideas of yours to see what's going on before we go into church today?
Okay, America, this is the real deal. This is what's happening here on the street. What's going on is that a lot of churches, they want to stereotype you. They think that you're not of God because of the fact that you might be in a temporary situation where you need some assistance. That's not the case. For God said in His Word that trouble will always be. The poor will be always with us. So we need to minister to the poor. Wherever we are going, if we truly be of the body of Christ, we need to always remember that our first ministry is to the poor.
That's right.
And not to stereotype them. So we are going to find out what the real deal is.
That's right.
What is the real deal? Why do churches do that? Is it because we're paying their bills and they want to try to lord over us? Or what is really going on? We're about to find out. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to have church, and they're going to be feeding dinner. You got all sorts of people from all walks of life are here, okay? And every day they're feeding dinner and so. You got homeless people, you got people who is not homeless. You got people in the church and out of the church. Whatever walk of life of people they are, where they're all from, we all come together and eat. We don't stereotype. We come together to celebrate the Lord. There's singing, there's a lot of praise, and there's music involved, and there's the ministering of the word. See, that's what it's all about. A lot of us left our homes, left our cities. We believe what God told us, and we believe that God told us to leave our land and be able that He give us a new life, and we obeyed that. So, through that, walking in God's obedience, we followed that, and God did what He said He was going to do in our lives. So eventually, the whole subject is about how do we get away from the stereotypes of the people who think that thing about us. I mean, everybody is not always going to have a glamorous life. even though they, cause everybody else to think they live their life, but sometimes the life is not so glamorous. Some people are going to experience homelessness, and some people have to live with grandmamas, aunties, or live in hotels, or maybe renting. Some people don't own their own houses. So how do we live in a generation that's like really faking it? And just because you don't have millions of dollars does not mean that you don't have any financial issues. And just because you do have millions of dollars doesn't mean you don't have any financial differences. We're not stereotyping here. The subject and the question that I'm asking, how can we stereotype people based on the subject of their income? It has nothing to do with their profession, their education, or anything. So, George, you want to go give an enlightenment on some things continuously, because I really like that topic, how you was really talking about the ministry, how a lot of people left their homes, and some subject, and we talked about that with a young lady who was representing for Gucci about a few weeks ago. We was on that topic, so it's kind of very interesting that you touched that subject. So would you like to add to that, if you may?
Sure. While we're down here at Safe House, the churches are coming down to feed a lot of people that don't have the ability to get their own food today. Well, let's find out what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that... Let's go over here, Demetrius.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going to go over here, George, if I have you to keep moving here. Okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
What's going on today is a lot of churches are coming down to minister, but what is ministry? What is Jesus saying when he said, if you love me, feed my sheep?
That's right.
I believe what Jesus was saying to the disciples at that time was that we need to show Christian love.
That's right.
For God first loved us so much that he gave his only begotten Son,
that's right,
Jesus Christ,
yes,
that whoever believes in him will not suffer or die.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? This is your host for today, Mary Ann Kim, the toilet cleaner, D, the woman that has many names, okay? Today, you know what this subject is all about. We always got a new topic, and we always touching on issues and stuff dealing with all real-life issues that America is dealing with today. So today we're going to introduce you to a very nice young man, and he's going to give an introduction for himself, and I'm going to ask questions like I always do, okay? Here we go. How you doing, sir?
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm doing great.
And introduce yourself and let our viewers know who you are.
My name is Douglas Cox. I'm a student at Georgia Tech.
Okay, and Douglas, we would like you to share your viewpoint about the things that you do on the regular and how you help the community and the impact that you have on people, and what do you do on the side besides that?
All right. Well, one of the things I do weekly is I lead a group of volunteers from a local church, Grace Midtown, and we just come downtown every Friday night, and we just spend time with people that live out on the streets, and we bring a bunch of good food, some yummy homemade soup, and we serve that, and we give out clothes, whatever people donate to us. Basically, just have a great time. We just want to build community and friendships with the homeless, and just to show them how great of people we think they are, because we really do. We don't think homeless people are subpar or worth any less than anyone who lives under a roof. We think that they're God's children just as much as we are, and so we just want to show them love. And so we want to do that however we can, especially through friendships.
Okay, very touching topic, okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we understand that homeless comes in many various ways, okay? You're homeless when you're living in somebody else's apartment and you don't have your name on any lease. You're homeless when you have no roof and you're living inside a hotel. You're homeless when you're living on the street or a shelter or any other place that is emergency. That is what we define homelessness, because a lot of people think just because you live with grandmama, auntie, that you're not homeless. Homeless is when you don't have any place with your name on. Anybody can kick you out at any time or any day. And we wanted to touch on the subjects of things of all sorts. We talked about violence, we talked about homelessness, we talked about laws, we talked about Dr. King, politics, and every aspect on this subject, okay, on this topic of our show. Now we're talking about a lot of things going on in America. Now when you saw me, I was in California. We was on the topic about homelessness as well. And we know throughout the whole nation now, it's a crazy, stuff going on with the economy, causing a lot of people to have financial problems. But a lot of times, most of the problems what we talked about, remember the George, the host that we had before, and George is over there right now giving an interview for another show over there for somebody else's topic over there. So you got to understand that George and I, we're doing a lot of other things. And a lot of people, like George said, he was talking about earlier, how he had, he owned his own business, because I've been knowing George for many years. And we had our stores, We set it up, and George and I, we lived in the same house. We helped each other, and we maintained. And George had his own. And a lot of people didn't understand a lot of things about us. But I allowed someone to live in my house to help him, and he allowed me to help me with my business, and we helped each other. So we're going to allow our guests to come back and show that how the impact of helping the homeless has actually inspired his life, and what is his goal for tomorrow and the future.
Well, any time that you serve people, I think it's just the way that we've been wired, is that when you serve people, you become more satisfied than when you serve yourself. I've really come to believe that the phrase, it's better to give than to receive, is not just something we say when we think about Christmas presents. It's just true. The more money you give away, the happier you'll be, not the more money you get. And I think we can just look at the lives of the rich in America and see that that's very true. And I just believe that with all my heart. And so one of the big ways it's inspired me just to help people and to clothe them and to feed them is just that, it fills you with joy to do what Jesus did, just to serve people that need it, And it's just inspired me that I really want to make a real difference. I totally understand that what our group does is temporary. And I'm okay with that for now. Just feeding people temporarily, and clothing people temporarily oftentimes. But I would love to become part of a greater solution for how we can really end homelessness. How can we get people that don't deserve to be on the streets to get off the streets? Because that's what I really care about. I don't want to just help someone for a night. I want someone to get their life back on track. And so any way whatsoever that I could help with that, I really want to do that. It's inspired me to look for ways to do that and to give myself more towards that.
Yes. God has provided some resources, allowed me to have a ministry and teaching people for years. That's many ways. You can go into transitional living. They have places where it is affordable. You can pay like $430 for living into transitional housing. You got the Salvation Army who charge $10 a day. You have they call rooming houses that pays like your rent is $100 a day. $100 a week. There's other options. They have programs that can help you. You can go to HUD. They have a list of apartments, and I would like to show you earlier what I told you when I went to take you to HUD, because I deal with HUD, and I have been working with HUD for many years. This is a list that I wanted to show you, how HUD is helping a lot of people. They have funding companies, and they have a whole list of housing. Okay, they have a whole list of the houses, and it's showing you affordable homes that the government can help you in homelessness, and it can help you in every aspect. So take advantage of this, all right? And HUD is going to your local church, and they're trying to get everybody to sign up for their first home buying plan, okay? Take advantage of that, America. It's all different kind of options out there, and the government will go halfway with you. So you have to be willing, you got to be able, you got to have an unction. Now, I met George years ago. George and I were